Hi, this is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden, and welcome to PANDO. We are going to go ahead and break down the integration pyramid with integration mathematics. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my whiteboard, and I'm going to show you what this is. What is this? What is this? You don't want this? Okay, let's try that again. I just needed to hit the whiteboard button. All right, so here it is. This is the pyramid. And every one of these moments has basically a level to them. That's what this really is. It's just all the different levels. I did not plan this out thoroughly. Can you tell? Let's try that one more time. There you go. Oh, that works. See what happens when you start at the right place. All right. There we go. All right, so every one of these lovely levels is literally a place where you have available to you visibility. This is literally representative of your visibility. Now, I'm going to be blunt. Every one of these blocks is a dimension. This is a dimension. And every dimension allows you to only see a certain number of things. It's literally what your visibility is. So it is a block of time, which is equal to what is visible to you. Now, it does not mean you can see it. It means it's visible. It does not mean you can see it. So it takes a mental discipline, a discipline that I call mental diversification, to see all of the components. Now, the components are unknown. They are an unknown number of components. I can give it to you up here. There is one component at the top, and I know that component because I've done this. And then there are two components here. And then there are three components here. And then there are four components here. And now you have your four data points, so you should be able to do the mathematical sequencing to make the logical deduction. Now, the component does not mean one thing. It means it's a component, which means it could be a grouping. So it really helps if you think about a component as a grouping. A grouping can be one thing, 20 things, 50 things. This is highly complex mathematics. So a component is a grouping. And I started this in 1992. This is literally referred to as the integration pyramid. And I made the deduction in 1992 to go, oh, there's something here, I got to track this. And I started integration, the integration pyramid. So integration pyramids work integration mathematics work very, very different than regular mathematics. And there's going to be a couple new, basically it is three new symbols actually. This one, which means leads to. The next one is leads from. And then all right, those are the three new symbols that are required for integration mathematics to work. You have the symbol leads to or integrates into, and then you have leads from or disintegrates into. Integrates into, disintegrates from. And then you have integrated foundation, which is what I used for the double slash. And then I'm going to put an X here to symbolize the unknown. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a very common example, one that we all know and is very, very dear to our hearts. As an example. So this is going to be a common example of integrated mathematics in biology. Are you ready? There's going to be a lot of people screaming here in a minute with relief. You have a mother and you have a father. And these are two completely separate things, but they are also wholes. You have a whole because your mother is not half of a person. She is a whole of a person. And your father is also a whole. And then they have a child. And that child is you. This is called integration. You, which is also a whole. Are you all following me now? I can believe we all can safely assume that this is without exception anywhere in the entire planet, right? You have a mother and you have a father, and your mother is a whole and your father is a whole. Therefore, 1 + 1 = 1. Welcome to integrated mathematics. But we're not going to write it that way because that's confusing, right? We have to be able to show you a difference mathematically between integration mathematics and common mathematics, because you do not want to confuse math as it is going 1 + 1 = 1, because the world will go, no, that makes no sense. So we've changed it. How I write this is 1. There you go. That is how I write that. So the first example is called mathematics. We all know this. 1 + 1 = 2. So let's go ahead and correct this math problem because this is already wrong. So there you go. But in integrated mathematics, you're not going to get 2. You're going to get 1. Because 1, actually, give me a minute. That's what it is. That's what it was. It's 1 + 1 integrates into 1. And then that 1 plus another integrated 1 leads to another 1. That's how it needs to be written. That is exactly how to write that. All right. So again, let me go ahead and blow this up just a little bit so it's easier to see. So what we have here is common mathematics. And then what we have down here is integrated mathematics. Without this math, I could not do the work I was doing. It was painful. I was like, doesn't make any sense. Because when you start to work in integrations and disintegrations, the entire math doesn't match up. So there you go. This is common mathematics versus integrated mathematics versus disintegrated mathematics. So now I'm going to show you something else. We're going to go ahead and take a look into telophase. Telophase is in cell division. Now, this is where I have a problem. The word division means to split in half. That's not at all what takes place. This is why integrated mathematics needs to exist. Is what you have in a cell is you have your one cell, and then you have your one cell, and then that leads into a split of another cell. Now, in that case, what you actually have is different. It's one cell, and it disintegrates into 2 cells. That's what you get. One disintegrates into two, but each one of them is a whole. So what you really get is that. There you go. You have one which disintegrates into 1 plus 1. That is actually cell disintegration. It is the de-integration or the unintegration of two things or one thing breaking down into two separate wholes. And it's really, really vital that you understand that it's wholes. So here's an example that your teacher may have taught you, but this is one example. We're going to give you another one. The other example we're going to give you is our beloved apple tree with our teacher. So this is a great example. Okay. Actually, no, I'm gonna go back to one of my original ones. We're gonna talk about James and his giant peach. Now we have a tree, and we are going to represent each one of these apples or each one of James's peaches with these lovely little peaches. Now you've got 3 peaches, right? But then you've got James's giant peach, right? His giant peach. How many peaches do you think it took to make James's giant peach? Now, if you blast and break down James's giant peach, you're probably going to get fractions of James's giant peach. However, in integration disintegration, what you end up with is wholes, never fractions. There are no fractions in integration mathematics. There cannot be. There cannot be. So hold on a minute. So this is going to be 4 peaches, which implies 4 whole peaches. And over here we have 1, one whole peach. But this whole peach is not at all equal to the other peaches. But now I want to talk about fractions. So we're going to jump back on over here. You cannot have a fraction of a human being. That does not make sense. That doesn't exist. We see this a lot with the statistic. The average American family has 2.5 children, which implies incorrectly that you have 2 1/2 of a child, because this is integrated mathematics required, but they have provided it with common mathematics. And this is the problem. That is exactly what the problem is. So you can say 2.5 integrated mathematics, and that makes a lot more sense because now you know that that's 2 halves, and then it'll make so much more sense. So what you really need in this example to correct this statistics is that. As soon as you add that, now you know you're talking integrated mathematics, and now you're not talking about literally a child walking around with half of his torso missing. See the difference? So now, and again, telophase cell division, you have your cells don't divide. This is actually incorrect. Cells do not divide because division implies a breaking, well, a fraction of a whole. You cannot have, and this is rule number 1 of integrated mathematics, is you cannot have let me rephrase this. In integration mathematics, the whole cannot be divided. Cell division is a great example of this. You cannot divide a cell. What you can do is integrate or disintegrate it. Now, the reason why this matters is because when you step into the wonderful world of the self in psychology, the self becomes disintegrated. So now we're going to step on over here, and I'm going to show you where this goes. So now, this is how I discovered it. This is with my own multiple personality disorder. This is what multiple personality is. It's a disintegration of the self. One whole self equals 5 whole parts. So the formula for the subconscious mind is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 leads to 1. Integrated leads to there you go. That is a healthy mind person. However, in multiple personality disorder, it's 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 leads to 2 selves. Actually, in my case, it was 5 selves. Which actually needs to be called multiple consciousness disorder. That is really what it should be called, because it's the consciousness that is disintegrating. There you go. So that's what it is. So in a healthy mind, you have your 5 parts of the self that are integrated into one self. In an unhealthy or unstable mind, you have the disintegration of the self. And actually, this is the other way we can reverse it, is we can just do it this way. There you go, which is a disintegration into the one self. There you go. So that's another way that that can be written. So when you have multiple personality disorder, you just integrate the cells. And now you've got the formula for, oh, this is integration. So going back over to our beautiful pyramid. So this is integration mathematics. So now going back over to the integration pyramid. This is what we've got going on. Based off of where I saw that video. I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, honestly, it looked like, I do have an idea. Let me do the math. By the time I started to figure that out, so it was 1992 when I started to figure that out. And when I was, but I didn't have any of the tools, nor did I have me. But by the time I figured out to integrate everything on purpose, see, there's the pattern recognition stage, which is what they just, well, they haven't done the pattern recognition. They just noticed they noticed the pattern recognition. They have not yet noticed the sequencing. Oh, I know where they are. All right, I know where they are. I know where I'm. It's called common denominators. They just noticed the common denominators. All right, that says a lot for me. Okay, so there's recognizing the common denominators. In 1992, I recognized that there were common denominators. So all they did in that video was recognize the common denominators. But pattern recognition is, I didn't do that until 2023. That's when I figured out the pattern, and that's when I broke the code. So you guys are going to break the code, or you're just going to come here and you're going to figure out the code, because I'm telling you, and then you'll just apply it to yourself. So you guys are going to go a lot faster than I did. So in 1992, I figured out what that video demonstrated is common denominators. And then once you figure out, oh, there's common denominators here. By the way, this process is mental diversification. So here's what's happening, is you take all the components, all the grouping, and you notice all the common denominators. You do the pattern recognition, and then you integrate all of the components. And when you do that, you get a perspective shift, and you move to the next perspective shift. Now, at this point in 2023, when I did pattern recognition, I was at the 8th ethical perspective. No, May of 2000, I documented all of this on my YouTube channel. May of 2022, I was 6 ethical perspective. May of 2023, though, that is when, oh, I remember the day. It was, yeah, so for me, that was May of 2023. And just to give you an idea, yeah, I know what, okay, I know what I'm saying here. I know exactly what I'm doing. Okay. It's been a while since I've thought about this material. Okay, so I was at the 6 ethical perspective, May of 2022. There you go. So May of 2022, I was at the 6 ethical perspective. And in May of 2023, I was at the 8th ethical perspective and I started to track it. That's when I started to track it. Now, when I started to track it, that is when I was at pattern recognition. Now, that is when I was able to break the code. They haven't broken the code yet. They just started to notice the common denominators. That's where they are. So they are, yeah, so they're right on par. So they're around the 5th ethical perspective. Now, you also have the entire world in on this, and you've got my work following you. I was alone. So I anticipate either 6 months, like 6 months, I want to say to 2 years. You guys will have this figured out. And there's just no data. There's just not enough data to make an accurate calculation. It would not, if it goes viral, it'll be 6 months. If it goes viral, it'll be 6 months. If it doesn't go viral, it'll be 2 years. There you go. That's what I'm basing that on is, well, if it goes viral, and there you go. If this goes viral, then it'll be 6 months. If it doesn't go viral, then 2 years. So I anticipate that this will be, that you guys will figure out and you will complete the full integration in the year 2026. So this is my prediction in 2026 without it going viral. Then 2026. So yeah, 2025 if it goes viral. 2025, January 2025, 6 months with it going viral. All right, so that's my prediction. There's my prediction. Now I'm going to show you what's at the top. You ready? The 12 ethics. That's how I got the 12 ethics. The 12 ethics are at the top. That's it. That's how I knew the 12 ethics is I just integrated all of these components and I kept integrating them and integrating them. And I went, oh my God, it's the 12 ethics. That's it. Sometime around here, I did the AIDNS. And I tracked all of this. So you can see the integration pyramid on my YouTube channel. Here is just, this is the breakdown. So what I'm doing is as I find people getting closer and closer through the integration pyramid, I'm going to go ahead and add the next stage. And then after we get 4 data points, 3, but 4, 3, but 4, then we'll be able to track the frequency in which you guys are figuring out. And then I'll really be able to make a projection that I'm really looking forward to. So as soon as I have 3 more data points, 2, but 3, 2, but 3, then we'll be able to make an actual calculation to determine when you guys are going to make the full integrated conclusion of, oh my God, it's the 12 ethics. Yep, that's right. So what this means is that, and it is the all-seeing eye. There's going to be a lot of people going, oh my God, it's the all-seeing pyramid. Yeah, this information was lost to us back in the 4th century. And I have the whole history of that all recorded also in my course. So if you want to see why we lost these, why there was the all-seeing eye and how it's tracked, it's because this is information that was lost to us back in the 4th century. This is ancient Greek educational system information. So there you go. And the reason why I stumbled upon it in 1992 is because that's when I started to study in the ancient Greek educational system. That's why. That's why. So right now, see, and I don't know, based off of with pattern recognition, let me see if I can calculate this. 8th ethic, okay, so here's how it goes. I know the answer to this. This is basic math, because I know that there are 36 levels of consciousness. So let's just do the math. 36th level of consciousness. And if they're at the 8th ethic, that means that they are 36 minus, no, they're not at the 8th ethic. They're going to be at the 6th ethic. So, they're just 30 levels in. So they have 30 integrations to go. So they are 30 integrations to go. That's where you guys are. You are 30 integrations behind me. But I'm now expanding. So I'm at the fourth expansion, the fourth perspective expansion. So you guys are at this time, and it is the 25th of June. God, this is so exciting for me because I've been waiting for this. June 25, 2024. This is why I stopped providing evidence and proof, is because I got to a point where I'm like, you guys will, by the time somebody mathematically proves my work, you guys will be caught up to me, and then everybody will just know this with common sense. And I'm like, why am I proving this when you guys are just going to figure it out for yourselves before the mathematical department can even catch up to me? Like, it's going to take them 2 to 4 years to mathematically prove my work for if I go through the regular red tape lines, whereas by then you guys are going to have it all figured out and everybody's going to know this stuff and it'll be common sense. So I'm like, why am I wasting my time mathematically proving this when you guys are already starting to integrate it and figure it out for yourself? So I've got the math and everything available. If you want to see it, that's over at my website. And I have the mathematical formulas for you. But this is it right here, is as of June 25th, you are at the 30th integration. Now I know where you guys are. So as I see the next integration level, I'm going to track it, and it's a countdown. It's an absolute countdown. And the closer you get to the one component of the 12 ethics, it goes really, really fast, and then it drops. Now, here's the other thing is there's probably people going, but 12 ethics is what? It's 12 components. Well, when you integrate them, you get love. This is the most beautiful thing about all of this. That is really what you guys are doing. And that's when you get to the point of comprehension. That's what's at the top. So there you go. This is so exciting. I'm like, yes, finally. The world is starting to not feel so alone. That makes me feel really, really happy. So there you go. All right. There is the game, if you guys want to play the game, which expedites you through this process that is available to you. And I also have the 12 ethics. I have the learning journey of the discovered self, and that also walks you through this process. So you can 100% follow and track it. You can also just come in and watch the grouping. Now, this is really, really important. There is watching it from the outside, and then there is actually experiencing it. If this is not meant to be watched, this is meant to be experienced. And you're going to have to choose whether or not you want to experience it or watch it. And I'm telling you, if you are not experiencing this progression, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. You are going to be left behind. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. If you are going to turn this into a spectator sport, you're going to get left behind. There is just no, the only way to do this, you have to do it. You have to experience it in order to actually get it. It's like those eye magics that went around back in the 80s and 90s, where either you could do it or you couldn't. And if you couldn't do it, you didn't understand what everyone was raving about. But if you can do it, the thing is, your mind is designed to do this. This is what it was built for. This is our true power. This is what we do. This is the human. It's really amazing. Everyone needs to be doing this. This is Plato's curriculum. This is Plato's curriculum. When you start doing the integrated mathematics and you start following the 12 ethics, you are doing Plato's curriculum. Now you're learning. Now you are actually building your brain to do mental diversification, which is why when I talk about mental diversification, I'm going, yeah, it's skill building. It's a very distinct skill, but it's a very, very specific skill of how to project consciously your perspective. It's literally like triple and double perspectives so that you can see every perspective in a room, and then you integrate everybody's perspective to get the omniscient point of view. So you can then zoom out, and with just being yourself, you can view the entire everything. It is mental diversification, integration. So keep posted. And if you subscribe or if you register as a student, you'll get notification whenever I upload a new course, and that will keep you posted and updated as to when I release new material. So very, very excited. And that's actually a really good point. I don't do really well with newsletters. To be honest with you, I gain no joy from doing my emailed newsletters. So what I'm going to do is start doing my own newsletters as a course. So you can just become a student and then register for the newsletter. And then as I publish newsletters or announcements, you'll get the notification that way. I also have newsletters in my LinkedIn account. So LinkedIn is the best place to keep up to date with any of my news. That is the best place because every announcement, everything that goes on, that is my bulletin and announcement board is LinkedIn. And then my archives, my video archives in my blog journal is my YouTube channel. So you can step into there. I have 4 websites because I have an entire city, which is PANDO, which is Alexandria, the Healing Garden, and also my research laboratory. I also have the playground. So there's a lot. It's a city. It's a full working city. So jump on in, take a look around. There is a lot, and the courses are a fantastic place to go. If you want to really enhance your experience on any level, you can step into the restaurant and ask to see the menu. So thank you so much, and may the kindest of words always find you.